gotta be ready to get you spraying it? We at least need that he was so excited. I am. We didn't have to pay. We didn't have to pay. It's cosmetic.
A really great class of cattle. Certainly, kids continue to do a great job, but probably definitely the deepest class that we've had yet. Some really nice cattle here on the top end of this class. If you start to break them down, I think there's several steers that you could naturally be drawn to. For me, the black and white paint steer is one that maybe it's not quite as clean to the base of his chest floor, and at times when he's in motion, he's kind of lazy-headed. So, and the young man, he's getting a workout over there. I'm sure his bicep will be pretty tired by the end of this show. He's doing the best he can to keep that old steer's head up, but from shoulder back, if you just start breaking his calf down, a really massive bodied steer that's got a lot of genuine width in him. I'm telling you, when you get your hands on these cattle, it's really no contest. This steer is by some margin the biggest top steer. It's got the freshest turnover, his rib and loin, really on target in terms of finish, huge in his hip and stifle. Really like his soundness off of his back end. I could probably see him come out of his front end just a notch better, but honestly, I think he's a touch better in that regard than some of the other cattle right in behind him. But just a really nice, massive, powerful steer that's got a nice look about him when he gathers his parts. The calf we've got here in second, probably just a bit more eccentric in terms of look and attractiveness up through his front 1/3. That calf at a time stays more collected and leveler, and his top line is square out of his hip set. A steer that's really got a powerful look about him in terms of the ground up, a big bone, big footed type of a steer. A calf, I really like his lines. If I were to get critical of this steer, wide left in second, for me, get your hands on the cattle right behind his shoulder. He can square up just a little truer. A calf that I'd like to see just come out of his front end a little bit sounder. We'll probably get the most critical of his front end versus the cattle we've got here at the top end. The calf then that we've got in the third position, a really nice sound, well-made steer in terms of balance and look. You look at the way he connects his shoulder on top of his shoulder blade, and you know that he's right in terms of structure. And certainly a calf that's got a lot of merit to him in terms of being a complete, useful type of a steer. For me, as it starts breaking things down, I think he's a calf that's a bit shorter and flatter in his stifle. I don't see quite as much power down his top. And I'm not saying I need the most powerful one, but I think the cattle in front of him are sound enough to go ahead and use their power to beat him. The calf then that we've got here in the next position is a calf that wants to get more open in terms of his shoulder blade and a little bit choppier there in his chest floor. Maybe not quite as extended up through his front end. From his shoulder back, this guy's really got a lot of product in him. A really massive bodied steer. It's got a huge hip in him. A calf that really has a nice practical look in terms of frame score and body and fleshing ability. Perhaps maybe even a steer, as you put your hands on him and set him to the base of his brisket, could be just a shot leaner if we're going to be absolutely ideal.